Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, my name is James Gibson, and this is JG1, where we are here to honestly just impact the world, and make some greatness occur as we do each podcast episode. And I'm just really getting started in this. I said that I was going to start, if you watch old videos from January 1st, 2022. And so, it's been a minute. When life hits you, sometimes you get off track and sometimes you get redirected and you try different things and you take risks. But eventually that's a whole part of the process, so you can't really beat yourself up for things like that. You got to enjoy those and consider it pure joy when trials, come your way. So this is podcast episode number 2. We're just going to call it. And this one is about how bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? Right. So I think me personally, just coming from a personal experience, I want it more than I've ever wanted it before. I've never wanted it this bad. I've never full-fledged gone for my dreams, my goals, my aspirations. I've taken a lot of breaks and I've gone in a bunch of different routes. I tried a different job pretty recently. I think it was back in July. I tried a job in merchant services, and I was going B2B and I was a salesman, and it was a really tough experience, honestly, because I was starting a business from ground zero, which is just, it's so hard. If you've never started a business before, props to you if you're an entrepreneur out here, like me right now. This is the entrepreneur lifestyle. Content creating is no joke. And from going business to business back in July and now taking what I learned there and actually bringing it to my content creation, I think has been helping me out tremendously. So I'm so happy that I got to go through merchant services and selling POS systems. So, but today, is how bad do you want it? Right. I think personally, an incredible answer for any individual to ask themselves is, how bad do you want it? How much of your desires are built up to truly ask yourself the question, how bad do you want it? And then to be able to back that up. Hey, can you stop whistling, please? Thank you. Love you. What are you willing to sacrifice for your earthly destiny? Like, what are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to give up? Are you willing to give up sleep? Are you willing to give up countless days, even years of being maybe in a financial deficit? Like, you got to start from ground zero and work your way up. You can't cheat this process. If you're an entrepreneur and you really want to make money, it's by effort. It's not by time anymore. They charge you by how much, they pay you by how much time do you put in. So it's really behind the scenes. Everybody's not seeing you work a 9 to 5. You're out, you're working 12, 14 hours shifts all day, and then on top of that, you're going to have naysayers. You're going to have, even close family members that are going to try to tell you, oh, dude, you work too much. You spend too much time. So when you're going and working towards being an entrepreneur when you're going and working towards starting your own business, you got to stay focused. You got to realize that everybody's going to tell you what they think is right for you, and you have to prove them wrong. There's no backing out once you really, really invest time. If it's been 2-3 years, look, I'm not even that far in the biz, but if it's been 2-3 years and you're still an entrepreneur and you're still not that successful, stick with it, because you got to prove to your family, you got to prove to the friends, you got to prove to everybody that you said no to, that you sacrificed all that time to. And you got to prove to them that, hey, this is what I was born to do. This is my earthly destiny, right? In other words, how much criticism and judgment can you handle? Like, how much can you truthfully handle? That depends on how strong your belief is and your desire for your goal. Because if your desire and your belief is strong for your goal, you're going to stand for what you're doing. But if you kind of lack it, you might start being conformed to what the world wants you to be, right? I was just, because I wait tables too, so I was waiting the table one day, and, this lady, she kept telling me, she's like, dude, no. She's like, no, you're going to be a doctor. You're going to be a doctor. You're going to be a doctor. I'm like, I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, my dream, my goal, my aspiration, I know what I was called to do, raise people up and inspire millions of people to become their best selves. That's what I was destined to do, right? This lady you know, she kept coming up to me and or every time I walked to the table, she'd be like, no, you're going to be a doctor. You're going to be a doctor. No, like, I just know you're going to be a doctor. And I feel like she was trying to move me in a way to like agitate me. And I wasn't being agitated at all. I'm like, you know, she's sitting there trying to agitate me and trying to conform me to her. But, you know, you got to be unreasonable. You got to conform the world to yourself, right? You got to conform to the world to your beliefs. You know, eventually, once your belief gets so strong and your desire gets so strong, you know, you create a mastermind. And what a mastermind is it's creating two minds that basically generate a spirit of harmony, creating a harmonious third mind to contribute to a definite purpose to the earth. So, you know, stick with your desires, but it's also really a form of manifesting it. Like, you can't just expect that you can't just be faithful that this is going to happen in your life and then you don't work for it. You've heard this before. Faith without works is dead. You got to work every day for it. You got to write down your goals. You got to go to bed dreaming it. You got to wake up dreaming it. You got to look in the mirror and tell yourself what you're going to be, who you can be, instead of focusing on the present moment, who you currently are. You know, I'm not saying don't stay in the present moment, but I'm saying stay in the present moment, but in the back of your mind, make sure that you're focusing on the future and who you could be, so that you're never getting content. You're always hitting the next level. I just think that's a very important thing, you know? So again, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? Like, do you realize there's so many other people that are doing the exact same thing you're doing right now, and they're more efficient, they're working faster, they're a little bit better, but at the end of the day, they're not you. They're not you, right? And so if they're not you, you just need to create the best version of you, so the world can see the best you. And I promise you, success is coming. I'm studying. I'm learning. I've learned from the great. And people might say, James, you're not successful yet. What? Everybody's view of success is different, right? Me personally, I believe that I'm not at my highest successful point yet, right? I realize that I have to have the mindset of the person that I want to be before I become that person that I actually am. So, hey, if you got a little bit of value from this today, you know, I hope you enjoyed this. I really haven't done podcasting in a minute, but I got a nice little setup here, and I'm super proud about that. So thank you guys for watching today. Comment down below if you have any questions. Email me at jamesbringsvalue@gmail.com if you have any questions. If you need any help, I am here for self-help. So I'm also going to have all my social medias down in the description. And subscribe and like to the channel. I'm James Gibson. This is JG1. And I hope you're having a blessed day, night, whatever time of the day you watch this. We'll see you on the flip side.